Okay guys, so it's James Goddard bringing you another lesson from down here at the Quest Golf Academy. And today's lesson is all about the importance of having a functional golf grip. Now there have been, and there still are, many great players who play with what will be classed as strong or weak grips. Now, as a quick example of that, Dustin Johnson, he would play with a strong grip, and Jordan Spieth would play with what would be called a very weak grip. Now, the thing that those two players do really well is they make some adjustments, some compensation throughout their swing to accommodate for their either strong or weak hold of the club. If an amateur golfer were to come into me and they had an either strong or weak grip, but yet were able to find target on a consistent basis, then I more than likely leave the grip alone. However, this scenario here you're going to see today, this is a classic example of how a strong grip can have a real negative effect on golf ball direction and path as well. So this is Rob. Now Rob's been playing on and off for around about 10 years. Only socially, plays with friends and plays a lot of golf with work. So this year he's decided he wants to get a lot better at golf. He either gets better at golf or he's actually going to give the game up. So no pressure at all on my behalf. Never had any tuition before. So lots to work with really. So if you just look here on the right, this is his first golf shot of the day. And I'll just run this one through here. So one of the first things you'll notice is there's a real lack of lower body rotation. It's more of it's a very handsy and arm swing. There's not a lot of body rotation or lower body specifically rotation at all. And just look at the angle this club's coming into. So it's coming kind of this direction. And this is all in an effort for him to find target. Okay, from the face-on view on the left, if you look at this grip, you can see how strong it is. So not only have we got a left hand that's showing all four full knuckles, the right hand, you can almost see the top of the forearm. You can see how far under his right hand is. It's a strong left hand and a super strong right hand as well. Some of the consequences of that, and again, he's never had any tuition, so these compensations that he's made throughout his golf swing are all things that he's either done subconsciously or consciously in an effort to hit the golf ball towards the target. So if I just run him through here, you'll see he's a little bit of a sway off the golf ball, but it's more importantly for me is at the top of this backswing, you can see as he starts his transition, there's just a real lack of any sort of movement this way towards the target with his lower body. So the lower body stays very passive, the hands and arms work, and you can see as he comes to impact, if I just put a line on his head, you'll see top of the backswing, his head's here. As he starts down, the head drops further back, the lower body makes no effort to move towards target, and at impact you can see the head has dropped even further back from where it started. You'd argue his weight was favouring his right foot, and he's swinging miles out to the right, which you can see from this view here on the right. And the reason his head drops back and the weight never transfers forward is all in an effort again to hit that ball and start that ball out as far right as he possibly could. So as this was Rob's first lesson, I was really conscious not to overload him with information. So I did not want to give him too much, too many things to think of. And all we did, changed his grip. It was as simple as that. We just changed his grip. I didn't ask him to think about anything else. We just simply changed the grip. And we got him to do a couple of swings just to get a feel for this new grip change. And Rob's actual words were, "This feels horrific." He said to me, "This feels horrible." And yeah, the first couple of shots he did hit miles out to the right, which you'd expect with a weaker grip for him. But this was one towards the end when he started to get a feel. And if you just look here, some of the byproducts of changing the grip, the body started to work a lot better. So his lower body will start to move now, and it can actually start to drive towards the target in the transition. There's no need for the head to drop backwards anymore. There's no need to try and add loft because the face is now not shut. So if I run this swing through for you here, just take care of that and run this one through. So you can see here now quickly, if I just show you, left hand in what we'd call a neutral 2.5 knuckle grip, and the right hand is a lot more on top, with this V here pointing up towards the right side of his face. Anywhere between the right side of the face and here is absolutely fine. So I'll just play this swing through. Again, I did not talk about anything in the swing, we just got him to hit some shots. So you can see now a little bit of a sway off the ball still, but more importantly it's this part that is impressing me the most. And again, there was no talk of this. So as he starts down, now his lower body can start engaging, start driving forward. There's that lateral component to his downswing. So lower body shifting towards target. If I bring him to impact, so there would be impact. If I pull this one through, draw a line on his head and take him to impact on this side. Okay, so number one, you can see now the head isn't shifted nearly as far. You'd say the impacts are quite similar, other than weight here is very much the right foot. You can see now how his weight planted on his lead leg. This right knee has started to drive in towards his left. As you can see here, he's very static with the lower body, okay? So he's pretty much back with his weight 50-50. If anything, you'd say it's more favouring. In fact, it's certainly favouring his right side or his trail leg. From there, there's not so much of a flick or release of the hands to impact. As you can see there, if I take him on a frame, on this one here, let me move some of those lines. This one here, we've got this real big angle. Look at the lead wrist, got a big bow in it there. Whereas this one, I'll run this one on a frame, hardly, not nearly as much. And he was actually striking the ball towards the end of the lesson really well. So we eliminated the left side of the golf course, and his strike dramatically improved in the 1 hour. Great improvements. I'm actually going to be working with Rob now for the next 6 weeks, so there'll be a few more updates coming from Rob's progress. Good work, Rob. Good luck with the practice for the rest of the week. I'll see you next week. Guys, if you're new to the Quest Golf YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button below. As always, interested in your thoughts, please comment below and subscribe to all my other social media platforms.